I want to show how dynamics can be used to control the position of this control object and the orientation of the motor, or what could also be an industrial control arm, or a rocket, or a gun turret, or something like that. So let me show how that can be done. It's very easy to do. I will need to place some locators, or a locator, and get things set up here right quick. On the transform object to this control curve, I will turn on the rotate pivot and create a locator. Snap it to there. Don't need this anymore. And I will also need a particle. I'll put it here. And it comes across as a cloud by default. And it could be a cloud. It doesn't matter. I'll change it to a particle, to a point. Doesn't need to be seen. Okay, now then in the connections editor, I want to load that particle shape, load the shape of that. And there's an attribute called center, and if you're using an earlier version of Maya before nParticles, the old particles, this would be called centroid. I want to load the translate node of the locator into the connections editor and plug in this center node into the translate. Now that node, this locator is constrained. The position of this locator is now driven by the position of that particle. And to see that, I will add a turbulence field to the particle and make it do something. Crank it up a little bit. So now then, if I don't want that on, and I do want that on, a little confusing there. Now then, if I go to the timeline and turn that on, you'll see, oops, I'm not getting an update here on this particle. Okay, now then, it's just an update problem. I think that might be Camtasia. But anyway, you'll see that the position of that locator is being driven by that turbulence field. So stop that and go back to here. So all I need to do then is parent constrain, or I can just use a simple point constrain that object to the locator, and now then you can see that the orientation of that, what could be a gun turret or whatever, is now controlled by that particle. You could also use a setup where you keyframed, an object was keyframed, and then a weighted constraint could be added between that object and the locator, and then you could keyframe the weighting to have this target that object. Okay, that's what I wanted to show.